Britain in the 1950s was changing fast. The war was over, cities were rebuilding, and people wanted a better life. New roads appeared across the country, factories came back to life, and the idea of luxury started to mean something different. For many people, luxury was no longer just about castles or expensive suits. It was about cars. British car makers believed they could build machines that looked elegant, felt powerful, and carried the same prestige as the country itself. Long bonnets, polished chrome, soft leather seats, and graceful designs became symbols of status. But not every luxury car became a success. Some looked expensive and impressive yet quietly disappeared from the market. They had style, comfort, and ambition, but buyers often stayed away. Today, we're counting down 10 British cars that looked rich but sold poorly, and some of them deserved much better. 10. Jensen 541. The Jensen 541 arrived in the mid-1950s and immediately looked different from almost everything on British roads. Built by Jensen Motors in 1994, the car mixed luxury with sporty performance. It had smooth curves, a lightweight fiberglass body, and a large elegant grille that made it feel far more expensive than it actually was. Inside, it was filled with leather and polished wood. Under the bonnet was a 6-cylinder engine borrowed from Austin. It wasn't the fastest car in the world, but it was refined and comfortable for long-distance driving. People admired the styling. It looked modern at a time when many British cars still appeared old-fashioned, but the problem was price. The Jensen 541 cost far more than many buyers expected, and the company simply couldn't build cars in large numbers. Sales stayed low, and only a small number were ever made. Today, it feels like a forgotten British Grand Tour from another age. 9. Armstrong Siddeley Sapphire. The Armstrong Siddeley Sapphire was introduced in 1992 and targeted wealthy professionals. Doctors, businessmen, and government officials often drove cars like this. It had a quiet and respectable appearance, with a large upright shape that gave it real presence. The company focused heavily on comfort. The ride was soft, the cabin was spacious, and the engine delivered smooth power instead of aggressive speed. One unusual feature was its pre-selector gearbox, which felt advanced for the time. People liked the sophistication of the Sapphire. It carried an image of class without being too flashy, but there was one issue. The market for expensive British saloons was becoming crowded. Jaguar offered faster cars, while Rover and Daimler attracted more attention. Armstrong Siddeley slowly faded into the background, and sales never truly matched the company's ambitions. Still, the Sapphire remains one of Britain's most elegant forgotten sedans. 8. Daimler Conquest. In 1993, Daimler launched the Conquest. The name sounded powerful, and the company hoped the car would attract younger buyers who wanted luxury without driving something too traditional. The Conquest had a clean design with flowing lines and a strong chrome front grille. It looked expensive, especially in deep black or dark green paint. Inside, the car was beautifully finished. Leather seats, wood trim, and detailed craftsmanship gave it the feeling of a much more expensive automobile. Under the hood sat a straight-six engine that provided smooth and reliable performance. People appreciated its refined driving experience. It felt calm and dignified on the road, but Daimler faced a difficult problem. The company's image was strongly connected to older customers and royal transport. Younger buyers often preferred sportier Jaguars instead. As a result, the Conquest never became a major hit. Today, it's remembered as one of Daimler's most stylish attempts to modernize its image. 7. Walsall 6/99. The Walsall 6/99 arrived in 1999 and carried a serious, almost official appearance. At first glance, it looked like a government car. Large headlights, sharp body lines, and a tall front grille gave it authority on the road. It was produced by the British Motor Corporation and shared parts with several other cars of the era. But the Walsall received more luxurious touches. The cabin featured polished wood dashboards and comfortable seating designed for long journeys. Its 6-cylinder engine offered respectable performance for a large saloon. Drivers liked how dependable and smooth it felt. It was practical luxury rather than flashy luxury. Unfortunately, that also became part of the problem. The design looked too formal for many buyers, especially younger customers entering the luxury market. It lacked excitement compared to rivals from Jaguar. Sales stayed limited, and the car quietly disappeared over time. Still, there's something charming about its quiet confidence. 6. Alvis TC108G. The Alvis TC108G looked like a car built for movie star. Introduced in 1955, it was elegant, rare, and beautifully handcrafted. The body was designed by Swiss coach Peter Graeber, giving the car a unique European appearance. Everything about it felt exclusive. The front grille was delicate, the curves were smooth, and the proportions looked perfectly balanced. Inside, buyers found rich leather and detailed craftsmanship everywhere they looked. The car used a strong six-cylinder engine that delivered refined touring performance. People loved its beauty and sophistication. But there was one major problem. It was extremely expensive. The TC108G cost so much that very few customers could afford one. At the same time, cheaper luxury cars offered similar comfort and better practicality. Only a tiny number were produced. Today, it's one of the rarest British luxury cars of the 1950s, and many people have never even heard of it. 5. Humber Super Snipe. The Humber Super Snipe sounded dramatic, and in many ways it was. Produced by the Roots Group, the car became known for its large size and comfortable interior. It looked important. The long body, heady chrome trim, and wide grille gave it a strong road presence. Politicians and military officers often used Humbers during the 1950s. Under the bonnet was a reliable six-cylinder engine designed for smooth cruising rather than speed. Owners liked the comfort and space. It felt solid and dependable. But outside Britain, the car struggled badly. American cars offered more power and excitement, while Jaguar provided better performance at home. The Super Snipe slowly developed a reputation for being conservative and slightly outdated. Sales never reached the level the company wanted. Yet today, it perfectly captures the atmosphere of post-war British luxury. 4. Laganda 3-liter. Laganda always carried an image of prestige, and when the Laganda 3-liter arrived in 1993, expectations were high. The car featured a sophisticated design with a low roofline and elegant proportions. It looked refined without trying too hard. Inside, it was beautifully crafted. Wood, leather, and thick carpeting created a true luxury atmosphere. The engineering was advanced too. It used independent suspension and a powerful engine designed by famous engineer W. Oh, Bentley. People admired the car's smooth ride and quiet performance.